An organized gang of thieves devised a cunning plan to target armored trucks replenishing ATMs. Their strategy involved strategically flattening the tires of the truck. When the unsuspecting driver went to inspect the flat tire, the gang swooped in and made off with the cash. This method was executed successfully 15 times, resulting in a hefty haul of $1 million.
Most of these couriers are not insured, so if they lose the money, it's on them, and they've really had a hardship. But let's also acknowledge the fear that these couriers were under when they realized that they were being followed from place to place, and at any moment they could be subjected to an act of violence.
The suspects' audacious actions were also captured in February 2017 at a Queens gas station, where they seized an unattended van's back door, making off with $4,000. As a consequence, 7 suspects now face charges for orchestrating a series of thefts totaling $1 million from ATM drivers across New York. Surveillance footage captured the audacious actions of a duo inside a South Florida jewelry store. Despite attempting to conceal their identities, their reckless approach became evident as they haphazardly sent items crashing to the floor. Their primary target was a substantial safe containing valuable items. Employing a steel cable and hook, they connected one end to the safe and the other to a waiting vehicle outside. With a swift and calculated move, the safe was effortlessly yanked out, resulting in what can only be described as a seamlessly executed getaway.
We figure it's around $1 million. It could hit the million or a little more. It looks like they bought a device to cut off the signals of the cell phones. Like right now, nobody has signal in there, and that's why the alarm didn't go on. They turned off the alarm like that.
The heist appeared to be a meticulously planned operation, successfully bypassing the store's alarm system. Chaos unfolded at a jewelry store in Brampton, Ontario, as 3 masked individuals initiated a brazen robbery. Armed with hammers, they violently smashed display cases, prompting security officers to intervene. Despite warnings to drop their weapons, one suspect boldly leaped onto a display case.
It was a bang, so I literally thought like there's fireworks going on, so it was that loud and they were breaking the glasses very badly. I had customers in store, and more people came in from the other stores, so I closed the door and we all were inside.
There's like shattered glass everywhere on the floor. I've seen 2 guards have this one individual arrested from behind on his handcuffs.
As additional security officers rushed to the scene, they managed to apprehend this daring individual, dragging him out of the store.
3 suspects entered the store armed with hammers, and they made a demand for merchandise in the store, and subsequently ended up smashing some of the display cases, taking some of the property. That was obviously a very traumatic incident.
Meanwhile, the other 2 assailants seized a substantial quantity of goods and made a swift escape. 3 masked and hooded men brazenly entered David's Jewelers in El Monte in broad daylight. Armed with hammers, they ruthlessly smashed display cases, grabbing valuable items. Despite a customer wisely leaving the scene, the owner, his wife, his daughter, and a family friend courageously confronted the thieves. In a desperate attempt to safeguard their business, the owner's wife began pulling jewelry out of the cases, preventing the thieves from seizing it immediately. However, within moments, the thieves fled the scene with nearly $1 million worth of gold and jewels.
They had hoodies on, and they had their face covering, so we couldn't tell what they were here for. But once we saw the hammers, we all became panicked, just grabbed chairs and things and started throwing them to fight back. Really mad that this was happening. We work hard for this business.
In a heartbreaking twist, the owner and his wife valiantly pursued the thieves outside the store in an attempt to recover the stolen jewelry. Unfortunately, they were met with violence, as the owner's wife suffered a chipped tooth and shattered glass cut his daughter's hand.
Punched one of them, I grabbed them outside, and I was kicking him, and that's when I got hit with the hammer. I got hit with the hammer on the face.
Adding to the tragedy, it was revealed that the owner, who usually kept a weapon in the shop for protection, did not have it that day. A daring individual set out on a mission to pilfer cash from an ATM using his truck. In a leisurely manner, he nonchalantly attached one end of a chain to the truck and the other to the ATM. Despite being blatantly captured on camera, he showed no signs of haste.
Open house special pricing is available until the end of the year. and diamond jewelry from Sky Diamonds, America's largest diamond importer. It's the special time of the year to look your best and bring beauty and joy to the world. Sky Diamonds is the perfect place to start because they become the #1 diamond store for everyone, from college students to business owners, regardless of budget. They did it by eliminating middleman markup. The staff of Sky Diamonds is made up of top diamond experts who help you make the most educated, comfortable purchase possible. At Sky, there's no risk. It comes with a money-back guarantee. And if you want to upgrade in a year, they'll give you 110% credit for what you paid. Sky Diamonds is the official diamond jeweler of the Vegas Golden Knights. They're located in Town Square at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Sunset Road.
After securing the chain, he calmly sat in his truck, driving away with the entire ATM in tow, seemingly unnoticed by anyone. A group of 5 men brazenly walked into Main Street Liquors on West Main Street in Dothan, caught on camera as they ransacked the store. Methodically stuffing alcohol into their pants and under their shirts, they made off with a staggering $7,000 worth of merchandise. 3 suspects have been apprehended and charged with theft of property in the 1st degree, while the hunt continues for the remaining 2 individuals.
It has been spiking the last couple months, and we're just getting tired of the loss because we can't, give our employees the benefits that they need.
Frustrated by the recurring thefts, the store owner, unable to provide raises to employees, decided to take action.
And it is groups that are coming in, especially when there's only 1 to 2 workers, and they overwhelm them by being a lot of people in the store, and some people just buying a couple of items to distract our workers. Put pictures up of every person that we're catching stealing in our stores.
A wall of shame now displays photos of those caught stealing, a deterrent to potential thieves. Brazen criminals in West Miami broke into a liquor store using tools, showing no concern for concealing their identities. Once inside, their unconventional approach stood out. They didn't just take money from the cash register, they ripped the entire register out of its place.
Which one of the offenders pulled the register drawer completely out. That was attached to a chain, takes the whole thing, and he also missed a few items that were underneath the register for them to just go in there, with maybe a hat and no mask and just, come in, not really worried about anything, just walk right out. We're hoping that some of the video, you can see the side of one of the offenders pulling the register. You can get a pretty decent face shot and a side shot, so we're hoping, somebody can identify these.
Their loot included not only cash, but also CBD products, adding a unique twist to their criminal escapade. In the southeastern Brazilian state of Sao Paulo, a routine patrol station became the unconventional stage for a pair of amateur robbers' misadventures, all captured on surveillance cameras. The peculiar episode unfolded in a series of unfortunate events. The 2 suspects arrived on a motorcycle, seemingly just for fuel, but their intentions took a dark turn when they revealed their plan to rob the station. One of the thieves, armed, meticulously raided the counter, collecting cash and stashing it into his bag. Afterward, they hopped back on the motorcycle, preparing to make a quick getaway. However, in their haste, they overlooked an open pit, a section of the petrol station used for oil changes and car services located about 5 feet below the ground. The motorcycle careened into the hole, derailing their escape plan. After a moment of confusion, they managed to extract themselves from the pit and resume their getaway. Yet, their misadventures didn't end there. As they continued down the road, they encountered another hole, leading to another unexpected accident that brought their escapade to a halt. Responding swiftly, the military police apprehended both criminals just 9 miles from the station. The incident provides the public with an entertaining yet cautionary tale of a criminal endeavor gone awry. In a daring heist at Huntington Bank, located at Beach Daily and Grand River, an armed robber made his move. Strangely, he walked right past the surveillance camera, seemingly oblivious to its presence. Once inside, he confronted a bank teller, brandishing his weapon, and demanded money, which she promptly handed over. The audacious thief then moved on to a second teller, taking precautions by wearing gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints.
Based on the way he was acting and the way he moved through the bank and the fact that he was so calm, I certainly believe this is not his first time in doing this. What's a real concern is that he actually displayed a gun to both tellers. We're hoping that with the quality of video that we have, there has to be somebody that knows him.
After securing what he came for, he casually strolled in the direction of the camera once again, seemingly unaware, providing a clear view of his face to the surveillance. In an unusual incident that left both witnesses and authorities baffled, a defendant with cerebral palsy, unable to move his hands, employed a distinctive method in an attempted robbery. Using his feet, he communicated his intent by placing a threatening note on the store's counter. The note read, "Hand over everything. Don't draw attention to yourself." To further emphasize his demand, he pointed a plastic toy weapon at the counter, securely wedged between his bare feet. In a surprising turn of events, a customer seized the opportunity to exit the scene while the staff engaged with the teen. Perceiving the replica as genuine, the bewildered workers promptly alerted the authorities, leading to the swift response and arrest of the teen by the police. An armed young man barged into a store, heading straight to the register without assessing the crowd. Wielding his weapon to intimidate, he targeted a person, but a man wearing a Mexican cowboy hat seized the perfect opportunity. With remarkable agility, he lunged forward, tackling the robber and forcing him to disarm. The weapon clattered on the store floor as a result of their scuffle. Another employee quickly grabbed the discarded weapon, preventing further harm. The visibly scared robber sought a hasty escape, dashing for the exit. However, his flight was abruptly halted by one of the store's unflappable employees, who stood firm. The police were called, and the would-be thief was promptly arrested. 3 men targeted a hotel in Nairobi with a clever ruse. They approached the reception and inquired about room service, expressing interest in viewing the rooms. The initially skeptical receptionist decided to show them a room, and that's when their plan unfolded. One of them brandished a weapon, while another kept watch. The third accomplice rounded up some guests around the reception. Simultaneously, the armed man ransacked the receptionist for cash. Despite the receptionist's resistance, the trio overpowered him and made off with an estimated 500,000 shillings. 3 men armed with knives stormed into the Super Value liquor store on Center Street, sending stunned customers into disbelief. As the workers attempted to call for help, one of the suspects became agitated. Leaping over the counter, he chased a clerk, slashing his finger and nose in the process. Another assailant, growing impatient, tried to open the lottery machine, but eventually settled for the cash in the drawer. Unsatisfied, he returned to forcefully rip the lottery register off the counter. The clerk, still bleeding, dialed for help again as the suspects left. Astonishingly, the same group targeted the 7-Eleven on the other side of town just a few hours later. Under cover of darkness, 2 men launched a bold attack on an ATM machine in Queens, New York. Utilizing a van, they secured a chain from the back of the van to the ATM and forcefully yanked the entire machine from the wall by swiftly driving away. In a matter of 60 seconds, they loaded the ATM into the van and made a quick escape.
He saw everything, called the police, and the police showed up fairly quickly, but they missed each other by like 30 seconds.
Bolted in, it was cemented, there was rods going inside the stone and everything, that they got it out. You put an ATM to kind of help the customers, to help the general public convenience-wise, but it's not worth it.
While the exact amount of money within the machine remains unknown, the heist highlights the audacity of the thieves, with the stolen ATM alone estimated at a value of $2,500. In a dramatic turn of events during a robbery, the tables quickly turned on the would-be thief. Armed with a concealed kitchen knife, the robber targeted a store employee, expecting an easy escape. However, the shopkeeper displayed remarkable bravery and quick thinking. Instead of succumbing to fear, the shopkeeper swiftly exited the premises, strategically holding the door shut from the outside. With a decisive move, he activated the security system, causing the roller shutter to descend rapidly, sealing the entry. In a stroke of bad luck for the robber, he attempted to slide beneath the shutter for an escape, but mistimed his move. The metal shutters descended, trapping him between the glass door and the street. Helpless and immobilized, the defeated robber surrendered. Within minutes, authorities arrived, taking him into custody. Subsequently, he was charged and sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison. A guy named Ryan Flores stormed into a Starbucks in Fresno, California, armed with a knife and another weapon, demanding money from the cashier. In an unexpected twist, he expressed concern for the safety of the children present and insisted he meant no harm. However, a brave customer, armed only with a mental chair, courageously intervened, launching a surprise attack from behind. This unexpected move led to a struggle, resulting in multiple stab wounds for both Flores and the intervening customer. Despite his injuries, Flores attempted to flee, but law enforcement swiftly apprehended him, bringing an end to the dramatic incident. In a rather comical twist, a group of would-be criminals tried their luck at robbing a store for the latest phones, turning the incident into a laughable spectacle that left both onlookers and customers amused. The bold escapade unfolded on camera as approximately 6 individuals dressed in black burst into a corporation street store, causing a stir among passers-by and those within. In their misguided endeavor, the aspiring thieves wreaked havoc, attempting to plunder new phones, each with a hefty price tag. Despite their determined efforts, the display cases proved to be resilient, resisting all attempts at forced entry. Spectators watched with amusement as one of the intruders climbed atop the display, futilely trying to dislodge a secure cabinet. The crowd outside the shop found entertainment in the burglars' repeated endeavors, rendering their entire adventure ultimately futile and farcical. Oscar Mayocanos, having withdrawn $1,400 in cash from Wells Fargo, proceeded to store his money in the glove compartment of his vehicle. Unbeknownst to him, he became the target of a calculated theft. As he entered a store, a suspicious individual emerged from a Land Rover, swiftly breaking the glass window. This opportunistic thief reached into the glove compartment, snatching the envelope containing Oscar's money, and promptly fled the scene, leaving Oscar a victim of a targeted and daring theft.
That guy used like a punch device to use in the corner of the car, and then all the glass shattered, and then broke everything. I saw a guy by the ATM machine, and then I went to my car, and then I pulled the money, I was carrying my hand, in the glove compartment. I saw the broken window, from the door, and then I ran to see what's going on, and I see the glove compartment. Look like he's reaching right here. I believe that kind of GPS device, he was tracking me all the time. I just have to be really careful because you cannot believe, can be a homeless guy next to you, or can be a guy driving a Range Rover.
A brazen heist unfolded at Pasha Fine Jewelry in Manhattan Beach as a group of 10 hooded thieves smashed their way into the store. Swiftly and systematically, they targeted the display cases, shattering them to grab valuables and jewelry. The exact value of their haul remains unknown. After the swift robbery, the thieves made a hasty exit, sprinting across the street to where 3 getaway cars awaited.
As a local, it's really unsettling. It's a little too close to home, and it's really brazen because it's 7 o'clock. It's still relatively light now in summertime, and so it's really unsettling. Too close to home.
In a synchronized escape, they jumped into the vehicles, which promptly sped off, leaving behind a scene of audacious criminal activity. A daring attempted bank robbery took an unexpectedly comical turn in China. The would-be thief approached the bank teller brandishing a meat cleaver, creating a moment of shock and disbelief among customers and staff. However, before the robbery could commence, an unexpected twist unfolded. The bank teller burst into laughter. The absurdity of the situation, with a meat cleaver-wielding individual causing amusement instead of fear, left onlookers bewildered. Swiftly, security guards intervened, easily subduing the bewildered and unsuccessful would-be thief. In a daring heist at Jeffrey's Diamonds in Campbell, a trio of thieves smashed their way into the store. Using sheer force, they kicked in windows or doors to gain entry. Once inside, they ruthlessly shattered glass display cases, swiftly stuffing their bags with valuable jewelry before making a hasty escape. The manager expressed frustration over the prolonged response time of the officers, highlighting the urgency of the situation. Andre Young's attempt to rob a speedway in Forest Park, Ohio, took a dramatic turn when faced with swift and decisive intervention. Armed with a box cutter, Young confronted the cashier with a menacing ultimatum. The cashier reacted with remarkable speed and determination as he tried to leap over the counter. A single punch to the face left Young incapacitated, sprawled on the floor. Recognizing the urgency, the cashier promptly contacted the police, emphasizing that his actions were necessary to prevent the robbery and safeguard the community. In a meticulously planned heist, 5 masked individuals moved with determined precision, armed with the tools necessary to execute their plan. Their target was a watch shop in Script Mall in Tottenville. Employing strategic methods, they pried open the door and accessed the valuable goods stored within. Their entry was discreet, involving cutting a hole in the back of the building.
In case that's something we use in law enforcement all the time. A hard box to throw the take in, the hand truck, showing that they're looking to encounter safe, and just take the whole safe with them at that point, drill it out somewhere else down the line. Imagining that this is an organized group that has gone up and down the East Coast, and by the time that the owner realized that this theft had happened, they're probably 3 or 4 states away. As a business owner, you're walking a fine line. You want to get as much information out there as you can, to bring business in, but at the same time, you're putting information out there which can make you a target. Those devices that were stolen, all those watches, they have numbers all over the inside of them. So when someone buys them and they look to put them into service, it can be recognized as where it's from, and that could ultimately give police and the FBI the break they need to bring these threat actors to justice, get them off the streets.
The haul from the wristwatcher heist amounted to a staggering $2.5 million, including luxury watches and a safe containing an additional $60,000. The surveillance video captures a harrowing moment as a 57-year-old man is taken by surprise with a weapon pointed at his back. The chilling incident unfolds with a person in a black hoodie stealthily approaching the unsuspecting victim. As the man inserts his card into the ATM, the armed assailant dictates the amount of money he should withdraw and hand over. This unnerving situation highlights the importance of vigilance and awareness to prevent such incidents from occurring. At a gas station in Newport, Michigan, a would-be robber wearing a green bandana made a crucial error by bringing a knife to a potential gunfight. With misplaced confidence, he entered the BP station, brandishing the large knife and demanding money. However, the calm and quick-thinking clerk responded shrewdly, causing the criminal to rethink his actions. The clerk, maintaining composure, stepped back, reached beneath the counter, and produced a weapon, signaling his readiness to defend himself. In a sudden reversal, the tables turned, and the once confident robber found himself in a precarious situation. The clerk pointed his weapon at the bewildered criminal, compelling a hasty escape with an unspoken message of force. In 2019, a would-be robber's plan took an unexpected turn at a country inn and suites in Paducah, Kentucky. Corey Phillips, donning a mask, attempted a daring heist with a weapon in hand, demanding money from the women at the counter. The receptionist complied, placing all the money on the counter. However, in a surprising twist, the receptionist seized an opportunity to reverse the situation. She turned the stolen weapon back on Corey, transforming the dynamic and creating a life-threatening situation for him. Once confident, Corey found himself powerless and hastily fled the scene. Despite his attempt to escape, law enforcement swiftly caught up with Corey Phillips, turning him from the hunter to the hunted. In a brazen daylight robbery, a barber faced a harrowing ordeal when an armed assailant walked into the shop without warning. The startled barber promptly handed over his wallet and any other valuables the robber demanded. Swiftly collecting loot, valued at approximately $30,000, the assailant made a quick escape through the streets of the Bronx. In a frightening incident at a Queens, New York liquor store, 3 masked men, one armed, initiated a harrowing ordeal. The 19-year-old cashier found himself in a perilous situation as the assailants threatened him, forcing him into a corner with his hands raised. The intruders leaped over the counter, pushing the cashier aside, and proceeded to fill their bags with bottles of alcohol.
It's very scary because we are right around the neighborhood, so that could even happen to us. I'm here alone also, so maybe he'll get somebody with me.
It's crazy. I never seen before like this.
The employee, now on the ground, was compelled to open the register, and the suspects made a swift escape with $100 in cash and $700 worth of merchandise. Entering the Island clothing store with her purse, a woman targeted the high-end clothing section. Methodically, she began stuffing items into her bag, taking advantage of the owner working alone during the holiday rush. Although the owner's attention couldn't be everywhere, the entire act was captured on camera. The woman managed to pilfer merchandise worth $800 to $900.
These are $158. Murphy scarf at $128. I did hire a couple more people because I realized I need, at least 2 or 3 people in the store.
Suspected of previous thefts from the same store in a nearby boutique, the owner, in response, decided to bolster security by hiring 2 to 3 additional staff members. 5 individuals from Georgia orchestrated a multi-million-dollar theft ring, specifically targeting Walmart stores in Northeast Florida and nationwide. Their modus operandi involved a crafty switcheroo, primarily with large TVs. The group purchased pricey televisions, using the casings as a cover, only to resell these items later. Subsequently, they replaced the original TVs with salvage units, returning to the store for a refund.
And then we were going to arrest this gentleman, Eric Grigsby. And the reason we didn't arrest Eric is because we thought it'd be a waste of time, just between you and me.
Employing this technique across 39 Florida counties, the group successfully executed their scheme. While 2 suspects are in custody, 1 is deceased, and authorities are actively pursuing the remaining 2 to ensure justice is served. A thief had an unusual plan to break into a supermarket by climbing onto the roof instead of using the front door. His first attempt failed as he fell, but undeterred, he tried again and successfully made it onto the roof. As he worked on the roof, attempting to make it collapse, he ended up crashing into the store. Once inside, he started filling his cart with stolen goods. However, his triumph was short-lived. When he tried to escape the store, he faced a tough challenge, trying everything from prying open the door to attempting to climb a ladder to the roof and even breaking the surveillance camera, all in vain. Frustrated, he sat in front of the door to smoke a cigarette, only to be surprised by the arrival of the police, who promptly arrested him. Under the cover of night, a group of individuals, their faces concealed, brazenly broke into a jewelry store. Swiftly, they shattered the display cases, grabbing valuable items before making a quick getaway in a white car. In a daring attempt, a man hatched a plan to access the ATM in West Park by breaking through the wall. Skillfully, he breached the wall, gaining entry into the secure area. Once inside, he encountered challenges while trying to crack open the ATM. Undeterred, he persisted, overcoming the hurdles and successfully breaking into the machine, ultimately claiming the cash prize for his audacious endeavor. A man's attempt to stealthily enter a garage at night for a cash heist turned into a comically disastrous escapade. As he navigated the dimly lit garage, his misfortune led him to a vat of used car oil, resulting in a headfirst plunge into the greasy mess. Adding to the absurdity, he inadvertently positioned himself directly in the view of a CCTV camera, capturing his entire oil-covered spectacle. His disheveled appearance, coupled with the sticky situation, featuring a sweatshirt and baseball cap, only heightened the comedic nature of the unfolding events. Unfazed by the ordeal, the oil-soaked intruder resiliently extricated himself from the vat, showcasing a determination that bordered on the absurd. Despite his oily visage, he slowly pressed on towards the register, creating a scene that could only be described as comically tenacious. In a daring heist at Moody National Bank in Texas City, 4 masked men arrived in a truck with the intention of plundering the ATM. 3 of them disembarked from the truck armed with tools, attempting to crack open the ATM, but their initial efforts proved futile. Undeterred, they swiftly moved to Plan B, securing a chain from the truck to the ATM. With a forceful push forward, they successfully dislodged the machine from the ground, making a quick getaway with their ill-gotten gains. Shortly before 6 a.m. on July 1st, officers rushed to the 11200 block of New Hampshire Avenue in Silver Spring in response to a reported burglary. A group of 6 individuals arrived in a black Mercedes-Benz E-Class sedan and a black BMW 5 Series sedan, brazenly forced their way into the store and made off with armfuls of stolen merchandise. In a brazen act, a driver forcefully crashed a stolen car into the front door of a weapons store. Moving swiftly, the perpetrator entered the store and began seizing a significant quantity of weapons. Making a speedy getaway, he absconded with a cache of valuable weapons. Law enforcement is currently on the lookout for the suspect, aiming to apprehend him and ensure justice is served. At a local bakery, a man entered with menacing intentions, confronting a female employee. Without hesitation, he expressed his violent motives, heading straight for the cash register. Remarkably composed, the quick-thinking employee calmly responded to the suspect's demands, facilitating his access to the register. When he demanded her smartphone, she deftly pointed to its location near the register. Seizing the opportunity, the employee quietly exited, dropping the gate behind her and securely locking it. The thwarted thief, taken by surprise, desperately tried to open the door in vain. Resorting to placing a wooden shelf in front, he then wielded a fire extinguisher to smash a window, only to find the police waiting for him outside. Troy police recently shared a video capturing a bold smash-and-grab incident at Saks Fifth Avenue in the Somerset Collection. 2 guys, posing as customers, discreetly entered the store. Initially appearing casual, they calmly browsed the watch display cases. However, the situation took a turn when one of them pulled out a hammer, smashing the display case, while the other swiftly grabbed the watches. Seizing their loot, the duo made a quick getaway on foot. a daring group of burglars was caught on camera as they crashed their truck into the storefront of a Valero gas station in southeast Houston. With the glass shattered, at least 4 individuals emerged from the side of the building and entered the store, targeting the ATM, all while customers were still inside. The situation took an unexpected turn when the driver, unsatisfied with the initial impact, pulled forward and reversed into the store once again. Faced with imminent danger, the store clerk, fearing for their life, grabbed a weapon and started firing at the intruders. In the chaos that ensued, the suspects fled for their lives, leaving behind the stolen truck. Fortunately, no one was harmed in this dramatic incident. Under the cover of night, a crew, meticulously concealed from head to toe, skillfully set up explosives around the ATM. With practiced precision, they stood at a safe distance for a brief moment before the explosion resonated, signaling their cue to mobilize. Their actions were executed seamlessly, indicative of a professional and seasoned group. Swiftly looting the ATM, they made a hasty escape in their getaway cars. A group of 7 men targeted an HW Houston smoke shop with a rather unconventional approach. They rammed a truck into the front door. Once inside, their mission became apparent. They were after the Bitcoin ATM. However, their efforts were in vain, as Bitcoin is a digital currency, and there was no physical money inside the machine. Despite their failed attempt, the law caught up with them, and they were later apprehended. In the dead of night, 2 thieves attempted to break into a store with a seemingly foolproof plan, hurling bricks at the door to gain entry and then ransack the place. However, their well-laid scheme took an unexpected turn. As the first thief prepared to launch his brick, his accomplice right behind him had similar intentions. Unfortunately for them, just as the first one turned, the second one threw the brick, unintentionally hitting his partner from the side and rendering him unconscious. It seems karma had its own way of intervening in their ill-fated endeavor. A grandmother casually strolled into Edelweiss Baby in Maple Grove, her handbag in tow, apparently to browse the merchandise. Without the store management's knowledge, she secretly began hiding items in her handbag when she believed no one was watching. The theft only came to light when the management discovered empty hangers left in the racks and noticed some items were missing. Upon reviewing the surveillance footage, they were astonished to find that the friendly grandma in the pink coat was the culprit behind the sneaky theft. At a McDonald's counter, a man initiates a transaction with the cashier. However, the routine takes a terrifying turn when the assailant reveals a knife, pointing it menacingly. The startled employee retreats, giving way for the suspect to lean over the counter and snatch all the money from the cash drawer. Another brave employee stands up, but the suspect makes a quick escape, leaving a trail of dropped money in his wake. 3 individuals orchestrated a robbery at the Canada Goose store on 800 North Michigan Avenue. Their target was a collection of jackets and assorted merchandise, which they successfully pilfered before making a swift getaway in a pre-arranged vehicle. However, this incident isn't their inaugural exploit. The same crew is suspected of being involved in 2 prior burglaries, establishing a pattern of criminal activity. 2 women were captured on camera stealing clothes from the Once Upon a Child store in Regency Park, off Atlantic Boulevard. One woman had a child with her by her feet, and the other was discreetly taking clothes off the hangers and stuffing them into her purse. Despite being aware of the surveillance camera, they proceeded with their theft.
I thought they were being very foolish because our cameras are running 24/7. It is very frustrating. It doesn't only keep inventory off the floor for the customers, it raises prices, makes it hard to give raises to employees.
Store owner Jeannie Blalock estimates that they stole more than 20 items of clothing and several toys.
Since the cameras were put in, and it was quite an investment, many thousands of dollars, but it's been worth it because it has been very effective.
In this day and age, like, you could easily get caught shoplifting, you know, like we have Facebook, all these different ways.
The store posted the video online in the hope that someone might recognize the thieves, and they also filed a police report. A vigilant customer captured footage of several individuals brazenly stealing from the Nike store during business hours in broad daylight. This recurring scene had inflicted substantial losses, nearing $1 million in a year. In response, a dedicated task force focused on the East LA Nike store, resulting in the arrest of 10 suspects during a 2-day operation. One of the apprehended individuals had a history of theft arrests and an outstanding warrant.
We coordinate with store security. We have crime analysts that we depend on within our own units, and they try and come up with patterns and when is the most likely time that these stores are being hit, and we coordinate with the stores, and that's how we come up with it.
In a broader operation across the area, the sheriff's task force apprehended a total of 12 suspects. A woman expressed distress, alleging that her iPhone had been stolen by a teenage boy who happened to be the son of the renowned jazz musician Keon Harold. As tensions escalated, Harold began recording the incident. The hotel manager intervened to assess the situation. Harold, later speaking to the New York Times, claimed that he and his son were victims of racial profiling, asserting that the hotel presumed their guilt. Eventually, the missing iPhone was discovered in an Uber and returned to the hotel by the driver.
Face off, that's mine. Literally, get it back, please.
Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
No, okay, then show me the.
No, you get a life. I'm trying to help. No, but you're not helping. What you're being is disrespectful.
No. Get my phone back. I cannot not have my phone.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life. There is an African-American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
The hotel responded to the incident, offering apologies to Harold and his son. In turn, Harold accused the woman of assaulting him and his son in an attempt to retrieve the phone, filing a complaint. The hotel clarified that she had been a guest earlier in the week. The security camera recorded an incident where 3 individuals tried to steal a bank ATM in Orange County using a pickup truck, but fortunately, all 3 were apprehended following a bold ATM robbery. A man went on a shoplifting spree, repeatedly caught on surveillance cameras between December 16, 2020 and January 10, 2021. He consistently selected various items from the shelves and left without making any payment each time. The police were tailing a shoplifter to catch him. While the officer chased the shoplifter, a customer tossed a shopping cart in the shoplifter's path to assist the police. This strategy was successful, leading to a collision between the suspect and the cart, causing the shoplifter to stumble.
You in a route, step it up. Be out one in Walmart. 85 Bush Bond.
Subsequently, the police arrested the individual and placed him in custody. A man walked out of the store with a bunch of stolen clothes in his hands, attempting to leave without paying.
Out of here.
Quick smile. This is great. Yes, that's correct. Yes. Step back to the left.
Cops are here. He did it. That's why he's getting
To his surprise, waiting for him were the police, who promptly arrested him. A man stole a product from a convenience store in Makati City and walked out without paying for it. Thanks to the surveillance camera footage, the police were able to arrest the man. At 5:30 p.m. on Franklin Street, 3 guys entered the store and grabbed a can of Coke. When the store employee asked them to pay for the drink, they refused, and one by one began throwing cans at the defenseless worker. The worker was also threatened with a knife.
He asked me to leave him, and I saw the knife, and then straight away I leave the other one. and go inside. It is really a terrible things to see like that, to feel not safe during our work. We have very struggled and exhausted from this situation happened again and again and again, and nothing happened. No one can stop this kind of the people.
The assailants left before the police arrived. In many incidents, jewelry is stolen right under the noses of workers. But here's a savvy worker who thwarted a theft with clever sleight of hand. When a customer tried to distract her by asking to see another piece of jewelry, she deftly placed her hand on the one already on the table. The couple left abruptly when they realized their plan had failed. A group of individuals was captured on camera stealing clothes from a Victoria's Secret store in Muncie. They entered the store, yanked clothes from the displays, and stuffed them into their bags. The group initially left, but returned for another round, grabbing more items before making their final escape. In total, they took 109 pieces of clothing, valued at over $5,600. Two women made a quick escape from Plato's Closet in Brookfield, arms full of clothes. The following day, possibly the same duo repeated their actions, this time in Greenfield, grabbing clothes and dashing out of Plato's Closet near 76th and Layton. Store manager Amy Simpson, behind the counter, heard laughter, but by the time she looked up, they were gone.
All of a sudden, I just heard two girls laughing, and I look, and by the time I looked, they had already gone out the door. I thought that it was a great way to get my message out there to try and see if anyone knew these two girls that stole from us. It's very frustrating. I am not sure why people would want to come into a used clothing store and steal from us when all of our clothing is already discounted as it is. It just blows my mind.
While the police were on the case with the video footage, Simpson took matters into her own hands, sharing the suspects' pictures on social media in the hope that someone might recognize them. A man entered a liquor store, caught on camera shoving bottles inside his coat in an attempt to steal them. When confronted about his actions, he feigned innocence and denied any wrongdoing.
So you just gonna rack up on our liquor, right?
Well, how you drop the bottles and you pick them up and put them back in?
Did you? Oh my God. So you gonna keep them in there or you gonna take them out?
You can't leave the store? How you gonna get out of here?
I didn't steal.
You just put it in there. Take them bottles out.
How did I steal anything?
Could you just?
You ain't bad as shit. Just take this shit out your damn coat.
I didn't steal anything about anything.
Can you just put them down?
About who?
You borrowed it?
About who?
Just take the damn bottles out.
Say that one more time.
You get too close, so I imagine
No. Say that one more time.
Just take the bottles out. That's all you have to do.
No.
You gonna keep them in there?
I think that's not gonna happen.
It's not?
Why not?
However, his attempt to conceal numerous items proved too much, leading to him falling on the floor and causing further damage to the store.
Go ahead.
What's wrong with you? You need a seat or something? You okay?
So you gonna sit here and mess up all our liquor like that?
Yo, just take the bottles out and get out.
Just take them out and get out.
Look at you.
Just take. Yeah, you got a lot of bottles.
Come on. Drop them.
They right down the street and it's taking on this. Oh my!
Look, you not.
Come on, you breaking bottles now, man.
You break, you buy.
In his struggle to retrieve the stolen items, he ended up breaking several bottles during the ordeal. A man attempting to shoplift was caught leaving the store with a significant amount of merchandise stuffed in his pants. However, his plan failed as he was apprehended, and he had to return all the stolen items.
You need to take off your pants, buddy. You take it off. You take off your pants.
I'm taking it out now.
Are you sure? What would you do this?
As he emptied his pants, a pile of merchandise accumulated on the floor, leaving onlookers astonished at the audacity and scale of his attempted theft. A group casually entered the WSS store, seizing the opportunity to grab clothes and shoes and stuffing their bags with stolen goods. Despite being under the watchful eyes of onlookers, no one engaged with the thieves, a wise decision, according to the police, considering the potential threat of weapons. The surveillance footage captured 5 individuals, but the LAPD believes there were 8 involved. The stolen merchandise is worth about $5,000 to $6,000 in value. Hold on to our final clip, which is the most scariest and most creepiest one. And if you like what you saw, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our creepiest videos. At a shopping mall on the southern outskirts of Nashville, chaos erupted around 8 p.m. The Franklin Police Department swiftly responded to the call. As officers rushed into the scene, body cam footage captured the suspects with their faces concealed, smashing glass display cases using what appeared to be a sledgehammer. The brazen act even involved the use of pepper spray against an unsuspecting employee. Upon arrival, the officers intervened, initiating a pursuit within the mall premises.
They smashed jewelry. Going out in the main mall. Get on the ground!
A physical altercation unfolded as one of the suspects engaged in a struggle with an officer.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Ultimately, all 4 culprits involved in this audacious robbery were apprehended, ensuring justice prevailed in the face of criminal activity. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.